a dark underground club, Nico, a rebel from the wrong side of town, crashes into Alma, a rich girl running from a secret engagement. They lock eyes in the chaos, security guards chasing her, Nico running from a debt collector. Alma trips, Nico catches her, breathless she whispers, "Help me." He smirks. "You in trouble, rich girl?" Alma's breathless, Nico's smirk. They hold each other's gaze as chaos erupts. Who are you really? Why are you running? When love feels dangerous, would you still chase it? The bass thumps in the walls, vibrating through bodies that move like shadows in the dimly lit underground club. Smoke swirls, the scent of sweat, alcohol, and secrets thick in the air. Nico darts through the crowd, heart racing, adrenaline burning in his veins. His hoodie pulled low, he weaves past sweaty dancers, shoving a man out of the way. Behind him, the debt collector's voice echoes, "You can't run forever, Nico." At the same time, Alma stumbles through the back hallway, heels clicking in panic. Her glittering gown is torn at the hem, her hair wild from the chase. The engagement ring on her finger sparkles under the neon lights, but she tugs at it like it's choking her. Her father's security guards shout her name, their radios crackling orders. She needs to disappear to escape the cage built for her. Then it happens. Nico rounds a corner, colliding hard into Alma. Her body slams into his chest, breath knocked from her lungs, as the world seems to slow in that heartbeat. His hands instinctively grab her waist to steady her, their faces inches apart. She gasps wide-eyed as if she's seen a ghost. "Help me," she whispers, voice trembling, the desperation in her eyes cutting through the noise. Nico smirks, cocky but curious, the corner of his lip lifting. "You in trouble, rich girl?" She doesn't answer, only clutches his shirt tighter. His eyes flick down to the ring on her finger, catching the shimmer, the price tag of a life he'll never have. The music swells again, bodies pressing around them, but in this moment, it's just the two of them. Behind her the guards shout, "Miss Alma, stop! Come back now!" Behind him the debt collector yells, "Nico! I'll break your legs!" Nico looks at Alma, then over his shoulder, then back at her. Her chest rises and falls, panic etched on her face, but there's something fierce in her eyes, like a spark trapped in a glass cage. "Follow me," Nico mutters, grabbing her hand. He pulls her through the crowd, weaving like a shadow. The guards shove people aside, shouting, but they're too slow. Nico knows these streets, these shortcuts. He leads her down a back hallway, through the kitchen, past a cook shouting in Creole, then kicks open a side door into the cool night air. The city lights blur as they run, breath steaming in the cold. Alma stumbles, her heels snapping. Nico catches her, scoops her up effortlessly. "Where are we going?" she pants, her hair wild in the wind. "Anywhere but here." He grins, setting her down, gripping her hand tighter. They duck into an alley, hearts pounding in sync, breaths shallow. They stop, chests heaving, faces inches apart again. Nico's thumb brushes a smudge of eyeliner from her cheek, and she shivers, not from the cold. "Who are you?" he asks, voice low, almost a growl. "Someone who's tired of being trapped," she breathes. "And you?" she fires back, tilting her chin up, daring him. He leans in, close enough to feel her breath. "Someone who's tired of being hunted." Sirens wail in the distance, the chaos fading as they melt into the shadows. Alma glances down at the ring on her finger, then back at Nico. Their hands still interlocked, like they don't want to let go. For a moment, it feels like they're the only two people in the world, until the debt collector's voice cuts through the night. "Nico, you can't run forever, boy." Alma's eyes widen. Nico's grip tightens. They lock eyes, silent question. "Do we run together?" Breathless answer, "Yes." The cold night air bites at their skin as they burst into the street. Alma clings to his arm, her heartbeat thudding loud in her ears. "Over here!" Nico hisses, pulling her into a shadowed corner. But it's too late. The gang finds them, a group of men in leather, eyes dark with hunger for a fight, led by a brute with scars across his knuckles. "Nico," the brute sneers, cracking his neck. "You owe us." Nico's fists clench. He backs Alma behind him, shielding her, but she refuses to cower. Her eyes burn with the same fire as before, the fire of a girl tired of being trapped. A split-second decision. Nico's eyes lock on a nearby motorbike, keys dangling from the ignition, as if fate left it for them. "Stay close," he barks. The gang lunges. Nico ducks a punch, shoves a man hard into a trash bin, grabs Alma's wrist and sprints. The gang curses, giving chase. Nico swings a leg over the bike, kickstarts it roar. The engine growls like a beast. Alma hesitates, breath caught. "Get on!" he shouts, eyes wild, urgency in every muscle. She leaps on, arms wrapping around his waist, pressing tight. Her breath is hot against his neck, hands gripping his chest, trembling. Police sirens wail, growing louder. Red and blue lights streak through the darkness. "Hold on!" Nico yells, twisting the throttle. The bike jolts forward, tires screeching as they tear down the street. They weave through alleys, dodging trash bins, crates, and startled pedestrians. Alma clutches Nico tighter, her dress whipping in the wind, her heart slamming in her chest. Fear wraps around them, but there's something electric too, an adrenaline-fueled rush, the thrill of escape, of not knowing if the next turn will be their last. Nico glances back, the ghost of a smirk tugging at his lips. "You scared yet, rich girl?" "Terrified," she shouts over the roar of the engine. But in her voice, there's something else, a breathless laugh, a spark.
They cut through a narrow alley, the bike nearly clipping a dumpster. Alma gasps, her hands gripping Nico harder. He feels it, her heartbeat racing against his back, her breath on his neck, and for a moment, the chaos fades, replaced by the sharp realization. They're in this together now. "Where are we going?" she shouts. "Anywhere but here," he calls back, echoing their first moment together. But the sirens wail closer, and the gang isn't far behind. Alma's gaze flicks to the engagement ring still glinting on her finger. She rips it off, hurling it into the night. Nico sees it fly, catches the movement in the mirror, and something shifts in him. A girl like that, tossing away a life of diamonds and power. For what? For this. They burst onto a main road, tires screeching. A police cruiser cuts them off. Nico swerves hard, barely missing a lamppost. Alma screams, clutching him as if he's the only thing tethering her to the world. Nico's jaw tightens, determination burning in his eyes. Can we trust each other? Do we even have a choice? Final alley looms ahead. Nico guns the throttle. Alma's eyes widen, heart in her throat. They fly into the shadows, sirens blaring, the city roaring behind them. The rain taps softly on the broken windows, mixing with the distant hum of the city outside. Alma sits on the worn leather couch, her hands trembling slightly, a scrape on her knee darkening her dress. Her chest rises and falls with each breath, the adrenaline slowly fading but her heart still racing. Nico kneels before her, his face inches from her leg, dabbing a damp cloth on the wound. His touch is careful, but the sting makes her wince, sucking in a sharp breath. "Easy," he murmurs, voice low and steady, glancing up at her with a faint smirk. "You say that like it doesn't hurt," she whispers, her voice tight, but there's a flicker of a smile too soft, like she's letting her guard down. Her hair falls into her face, wild from the chase. Without thinking, Nico reaches up, tucking it behind her ear. His fingers brush her skin light as a secret, and the world seems to pause. Their eyes lock. The space between them shrinks, breath mingling in the heavy air. Alma's lips part, her eyes flickering between his mouth and his gaze. Nico's heartbeat hammers in his chest, the weight of the moment pressing down on them like a storm about to break. His hand lingers at her cheek. Her breath hitches. "Why are you helping me?" she asks, barely a whisper. "Maybe I like trouble," he murmurs, voice rough, eyes burning into hers. The tension crackles, electric, dangerous. They lean in, closer, breaths shallow, lips almost brushing. Alma's hand lifts, resting lightly on his chest. She feels the rapid beat of his heart beneath her fingers, and it feels like her own wild, desperate, alive. And then, bang bang bang, a loud knock at the door. Alma jerks back, pulse racing. Nico's jaw tightens, the moment shattered. "Stay here," he mutters, standing quickly. Alma's breath catches in her throat. "Who is it?" she whispers. Nico's eyes darken, a flicker of fear, of calculation. Could be no one, could be everyone. He moves silently, grabbing a wrench from the table, every muscle tense. Alma's hands tremble as she pulls her legs up, hugging her knees, the scrape on her knee forgotten. Another knock, this time softer, almost a whisper against the wood. "Nico, I know you're in there." A voice low, familiar, dangerous. Nico's expression hardens, eyes flashing. He glances at Alma, then the door, then back at Alma. A silent question in his gaze. "Do I open it? Do I risk it?" Alma, breathless, nods ever so slightly. "I'm with you." Nico turns the handle slowly, wrench hidden behind his back. The door creaks open just a crack. Outside stands a figure in the shadows, face obscured by a hoodie, voice dripping with warning. "You're not safe, Nico. They know where you are." Nico's blood runs cold. The door slams shut. Alma's voice trembles. "Who was that?" Nico exhales hard, like the weight of the world just dropped on his shoulders. "Trouble," he mutters, turning back to her. His eyes linger on her face, her fear, her defiance, the kiss that almost happened. For a moment, they just stare, two outsiders in a world stacked against them. Alma's voice, soft but fierce. "What do we do now?" Nico's jaw tightens. He drops the wrench, pulls her into a sudden, desperate hug, because in this world, you grab what you can before it's gone. He whispers, almost against her ear, "Run." But this time we don't run alone. The night feels heavy, the air thick with the tension of something about to snap. Nico and Alma stand close, too close, her tear-stained face inches from his. They haven't spoken since the knock on the door. Their almost kiss still hanging in the air like an unspoken promise. Nico looks at her, chest rising and falling, torn between everything he knows and everything he feels. Alma's lips tremble, the weight of her secret pressing down like a stone on her chest. Then boom. The door bursts open, splinters flying. 3 men in suits storm in, dark, clean-cut, ruthless. Magabo's men. Alma's father's men. Alma gasps, stepping back instinctively, but one of the goons grabs her wrist tight. "Miss Alma, we've been looking for you," he says, his voice cold, his grip iron. Nico lunges forward. "Let her go." Before he can reach her, another fist connects with his jaw crack. Nico stumbles back, groaning, clutching his face. And then shouting from the doorway, "Nico, don't you see? She's the daughter of Magabo, the man who ruined your life." Nico freezes. The voice is his best friend, Kamanzi, wide-eyed, panting, staring at Alma like she's a ghost. Alma's breath catches. Her heart plummets into her stomach. Nico's gaze snaps to her, disbelief and fury flickering in his eyes like lightning. "Is it true?" he growls, stepping toward her, fists clenched.
Alma's voice cracks, barely a whisper. "I didn't want you to know like this. Like this." Nico's voice is sharp, bitter. He laughs bitterly, shaking his head. "The daughter of Magabo, the man who took everything from my family, from this whole neighborhood. And you're standing here in my place, pretending to be someone you're not?" Tears spill down Alma's cheeks. Her hands shake as she reaches for him. "Nico, I never." "Don't." He steps back, his voice low, dangerous. His world is spinning, the weight of years of anger, grief, and now betrayal crashing down all at once. Kamanzi's voice cuts in, heated. "She's playing you, man. Don't you see? She's one of them." Alma shakes her head desperately. "Well, I'm not like him. I swear." Nico's chest heaves. His fists tremble. He wants to believe her, But the storm inside him won't let him. The goons tighten their grip on Alma's arms, starting to drag her away. Nico, please. I didn't choose this life. I didn't choose him. Her voice breaks. Her eyes plead with his. For a second, just a second, Nico's resolve cracks. He sees the fear in her eyes, the desperation in her voice, the girl who asked for help in the chaos of the club. But then he remembers the pain, the hunger, the empty pockets, his father's tearful nights after Magabo's empire crushed their family. His voice is low, shaking as he whispers, "I can't save you." Alma's breath hitches, shattered, as the goons drag her toward the door. She fights, struggling, screaming his name, but Nico doesn't move. His eyes are dark, haunted, burning with anger and heartbreak. Kamanzi stands beside him, nodding grimly. "You did the right thing, bro. She was never one of us." But as the door slams shut behind Alma, the silence in the room feels suffocating. Nico stares at the door, jaw clenched so tight it hurts. His hands shake. His breath trembles. And deep down, under the rage, under the betrayal, there's a sharp, twisting pain that feels like something precious just slipped through his fingers. The sun creeps over the city. Nico stirs awake, groggy, his head pounding from a restless night. The echo of Alma's cries still lingers in his ears like a haunting melody. He groans, rubbing his face, trying to shake off the memory. But something feels off. The blanket she used is folded neatly on the couch. The air smells faintly of her perfume, vanilla, and something soft, almost like regret. And then he sees it. A folded piece of paper, creased at the edges, resting on the table. His heart drops. Fingers trembling. He unfolds it, her handwriting, delicate yet rushed, the ink smudged slightly as if she'd cried while writing it. "Nico, forget me. It's better this way. Sorry, Alma." For a heartbeat, everything stills. Then like a dam breaking, rage and pain flood through him. "No!" His fist slams into the wall with a thud, the impact rattling the room. His knuckles bleed, but he doesn't care. The sting barely registers over the sharp, raw ache in his chest. Tears spill from his eyes, hot and relentless, dripping onto the letter. "Why?" he shouts, voice breaking, hoarse with grief. He paces the room, breathing ragged, clutching the note like it's a lifeline. His mind races. The way she looked at him, the softness in her voice, the way her hand fit perfectly in his, the tears in her eyes when they took her away. Forget me. How could she ask him to do that? He crumples the note in his fist, heart hammering. A memory flashes her whisper in the club. "Help me." Another her breathless laugh as they sped through the night on the stolen bike. Another her tears when the truth came out, the pain in her voice. "I didn't choose this life." He squeezes his eyes shut, fists clenched tight, the weight of it all pressing down. "Forget me." "Well, he can't. He won't." With a shaky breath, he wipes the tears from his face. Jaw set, eyes burning with a new fire. She's not just his enemy's daughter. She's the girl who dared to run. The girl who held his hand when the world closed in. The girl who looked at him like he was someone. And he can't let her go. Not like this. Nico storms out of the hideout, the crumpled note still in his hand. The city stretches out before him, cold, dangerous, unforgiving, but he doesn't care. He's going to find her, even if it kills him. Because for the first time in his life, he's fighting for something that matters. And he'll tear down every wall, every lie, every secret, if it means getting to her. Rain slashes the dark streets, pooling in gutters, drumming on rooftops like a warning. Nico stands in the middle of a deserted lot, fists clenched, breath steaming in the cold. Across from him, under the flickering glow of a broken streetlight, the gang boss, muscles bulging, gold chain gleaming, eyes hard as steel, grins like a wolf. Behind the boss, his crew fans out like a pack of hyenas, weapons glinting in the night. "You should have stayed in your lane, Nico," the boss sneers, voice low and dangerous. "Stay away from the Magabo girl, or you die." Nico's jaw tightens, his eyes dark with fire. He steps forward, ignoring the rain, ignoring the threat. "Stay away from her," he spits, voice raw. "She's not yours to control. And neither am I." The boss laughs, the sound sharp and mean. "You think you can fight me, little rebel? You're nothing. Just another kid from the gutter."
"I don't care," Nico roars, voice shaking with fury. "Let them come for me. I'll die before I let you touch her." Lightning cracks across the sky, illuminating the scene in harsh flashes. Across town, in a sleek office high above the city, Alma's father Magabo, the man who rules with an iron fist, slams his fist on his desk, the sound echoing in the room. His men stand tense, waiting for orders. "Find them both," Magabo growls, voice like thunder. "And when you do, end it." Meanwhile, Alma stands drenched in the rain, shivering under a broken awning, tears streaming down her face, mixing with the rain. She clutches her phone, whispering to herself, "They'll kill you because of me." And then, like a ghost in the storm, Nico appears. He's soaked, hair plastered to his forehead, bruised and bleeding, but his eyes lock onto hers with a fierce, unstoppable hunger. Without a word, he strides up to her. "Why are you here?" she sobs, her voice barely a whisper. "You'll get yourself killed. Let them try." He cuts her off, voice low, shaking with emotion. Her breath catches in her throat. He steps closer, their faces inches apart, the rain soaking them both. His hand cups her cheek, thumb brushing away the tears, their breaths mingling in the cold. Her hands tremble as she touches his chest, feeling the ragged beat of his heart under her palm. "Nico," she whispers, voice breaking. "Shoo," he murmurs, pressing his forehead to hers. No more running, no more hiding. And in the chaos of the storm, under the weight of every threat, every fear, every impossible choice, they kiss. It's not gentle, it's desperate, fierce, the kind of kiss that says we might not survive, but we'll die trying. But the moment shatters as tires screech, headlights cut through the darkness, and shouts fill the air. "They found us!" Alma gasps, eyes wide with terror. Nico grabs her hand, pulling her into the shadows, their hearts pounding in sync, as the city becomes a battlefield. Because love is a war zone, and they're in the middle of it. The cramped apartment is barely lit by the flickering glow of a single lamp. Papers, passports, and crumpled maps are scattered across the small wooden table. Nico sits across from Alma, eyes dark and focused, tracing the route on a worn map. His hand suddenly lifts, gently brushing a stray lock of hair from Alma's face. His fingers linger, caressing her cheek with a tenderness that belies the storm raging outside. "We leave tonight," Nico says, voice low and steady. "Just you and me. No turning back." Alma's eyes fill with a mixture of fear and fierce hope. She nods, swallowing the lump in her throat. "Are you sure this will work? The fake IDs, the tickets, the car?" Nico smirks, but there's no humor in it. "It has to. We can't stay here not with them hunting us." The stolen car sits waiting 2 blocks away, its engine already warm. Outside, the city pulses with danger. Flashing sirens, dark alleyways, and shadows that whisper threats. Alma's hand finds Nico's, fingers intertwining as if anchoring herself to him. The weight of their decisions presses down like the night sky. "What if someone betrays us?" she whispers, eyes searching his. Nico's gaze hardens. "Then we deal with them. Together." Their lips meet in a fierce kiss, a desperate promise that whatever comes, they'll face it side by side. But even as they pack their bags, the city doesn't sleep. Secrets and lies crawl in the darkness, waiting to shatter their fragile plan. A phone buzzes on the table, a message from an unknown number flashes on the screen. "You can't hide forever." Alma's breath hitches. Nico's jaw tightens. The night is far from over. The night air is thick with tension as Nico and Alma crouch behind the stolen car, hearts pounding like thunder. Inside a dimly lit room miles away, Alma's best friend, Amina, sits alone, staring at her phone with tears welling in her eyes. Her love for Alma, a love never confessed, has twisted into desperation. With trembling fingers, she sends a message. They're at the abandoned warehouse now. At the same time, Nico's closest friend, Juma, nervously wipes sweat from his brow. Fear gnaws at him. His loyalty torn between protecting Nico and saving himself. After a long, agonizing pause, he calls the gang boss and reveals their location. Back in the alley, flashing red and blue lights surround Nico and Alma. The cold metal of handcuffs snaps around Nico's wrists. Alma screams, "I love you," her voice cracking with anguish as officers pull Nico away. Her heart shatters in slow motion, betrayed by the people they trusted most. Nico locks eyes with Alma, silent pain flashing in his gaze. "Stay strong," he mouths.
The cold steel bars clang shut behind Nico, enclosing him in darkness. Meanwhile, in a lavish office bathed in harsh fluorescent light, Alma kneels before her father. Her hands tremble, clutching a paper that promises Nico's freedom but at a terrible cost. Her father's voice is cold and cruel. "Sign this, Alma. Leave Nico behind. Walk away," and he walks free. "Refuse, and you watch him die." Tears stream down her face as she stares at the contract. The pen shakes in her grasp, the weight of the choice crushing her soul. "If I sign this, I lose him forever," she whispers, voice breaking. Her mind races through memories, the stolen glances, whispered promises, the feel of his hands in hers. How do you choose between love and survival? Between hope and heartbreak? Back in his cell, Nico clenches his fists, unaware of the battle raging on his behalf. Alma's silent tears and impossible decision become his only lifeline. The grand gala shimmers with cold elegance, crystal chandeliers glinting above polished marble, a sea of tailored suits and sequined gowns. Gasps ripple through the crowd as she climbs onto the stage, grabbing the microphone. Her voice trembles at first, but her eyes burn with fury and resolve. "My name is Alma Magabo," she declares, the room frozen in stunned silence. "And tonight the truth comes out." Her father's face darkens, his hand gripping the edge of the table, a glass of wine shattering in his grip. "You built this empire on blood and lies," Alma continues, her voice stronger now. "You ruined families, destroyed lives, including Nico's." She holds up files, photos, damning evidence flashing on the giant screen behind her. Money laundering, bribery, threats, broken lives. Gasps turn into whispers, then shouts. Chaos erupts. From the shadows, Nico fights his way through the guards, battered but determined. He locks eyes with Alma across the chaos, her defiance like a beacon. Gunshots crack. Alma's eyes widen in shock. She stumbles, collapsing into Nico's arms as he catches her, trembling. Her blood stains his hands, but she smiles weakly, whispering, "I'd rather die loving you than live without you." "No," Nico chokes, his tears falling freely. "Stay with me. Please, stay." The room is in chaos, police storming in, reporters filming, her father being dragged away in handcuffs, screaming in fury. But in that moment, nothing else exists. Nico cradles Alma, his breath ragged, whispering over and over, "I love you. I love you." Alma's fingers clutch his shirt weakly, and for a heartbeat, they are the only two people in the world, two broken hearts fighting to stay whole. As sirens wail and the world burns around them, Nico looks at Alma, their love a fragile flame in the storm. Rain pours over the city like a baptism, washing away the blood, the secrets, the sins of the night. Sirens fade into the distance, and the sound of Nico's breathless whispers as he holds Alma in the back of an ambulance. "Stay with me, Alma. Please. Don't leave me." Her eyes flutter open, glassy and tired, her hand weakly reaching for his. A tear slips down her cheek. She manages a faint, pained smile. "You saved me," she whispers. "Even when I tried to save you." Nico kisses her forehead, salty tears mixing with rain. His voice cracks. "You are my saving grace, Alma. My reason. My everything." Inside the hospital, doctors and nurses swarm around her. Nico watches helplessly as they wheel her away, her blood staining the sterile white sheets. He stands frozen, fists clenched, chest heaving until a familiar voice calls out. It's Kamanzi, Nico's best friend, bruised and guilt-ridden, standing in the shadows. I never meant for it to go this far, Kamanzi says, eyes downcast. But now, you have to finish this. Nico's eyes burn with a fire no rain can quench. He walks out into the storm, determination hardening in his steps. He knows the fight isn't over. Alma's father's empire may be crumbling, but its roots run deep, and there are still debts to pay, lives at risk, enemies waiting in the dark. Back at the hospital, Alma lies unconscious, a faint beat the only sign of life. Her breath is shallow, her skin pale. The image of Nico's tear-streaked face burns in her fading mind.